Hey, David.
You
Mhm.
can start, Mr. Chair.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to the West University Historic Zone Advisory Board meeting for June 9th, 2026. It is 6:02 p.m. and we will start with a roll call. Uh, Paul Rusk,
Present.
Cece Chavez, I don't see you on just yet. Jim Glock,
Present.
Haley Sobieski, I see you on
Present.
there. Okay, thank you. Lou Spicknagel,
Present.
Greg Stoner,
Present.
and Chris Doman is not here. All right, so we have a quorum. Um, let's move on to item 2 on the agenda, which is the review and approval of the law from our last meeting. Um, I assume everybody's had a chance to take a look at it. I know I have. Any uh, anyone willing to make a move to approve?
I'll move to approve.
Thank you, Jim. I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Lou, thank you.
I have
Um,
an item like to raise with respect to the minutes, please.
Okay, well, let me just do the formality of, we have a motion, we have a second. Is there any discussion?
Correct. And I want to discuss.
Okay, over to you, sir.
So the meeting was not recorded.
Oh,
And as a result, a comment that was made during the discussion of item, uh, oh shoot, let me pull it up. The item uh, 4B, 945 North Fifth Avenue. During the discussion, we did point out that the attached garage does violate the West University Historic Zone Advisory Board's guidelines.
and that wasn't included in the minutes.
It was not included in the minutes, and I failed to bring it up during the discussion of the item. And since the meeting was not recorded, I wanted at least the minutes aspect of this particular item to reflect that commentary.
Okay, um, so how
So,
do we
can I
handle
get
that?
what item was that? Nine. Jim, can you just repeat for me, please? Or
That
review?
It was 4B on the agenda, Michael.
so in so 4B, the second paragraph of the legal action report and minutes should read as follows. Staff Lithenthal provided project background and introduced the applicant, Peter Zarilla, who presented the project. The board asked questions and discussed the project. An additional sentence should be added to that paragraph that it was noted that an attached garage violates West University Historic Zone design guidelines, period.
We are going to add that as a correction to the minutes.
Thank you.
Does that, so that, if I remember correctly from reading it earlier, the recommendation was to accept.
It was accepted and it was failed to be brought up as a part of the motion as a discussion item. However, I do want the record to reflect that the board made the motion in full knowledge of the guidelines.
Okay,
So
so it's not going to change the
it's not, well,
recommendation.
no, I'm not asking, no, I mean, I don't think so.
Oh, no,
I
I'm just,
mean, yeah, I mean, in hind, I mean, I probably should have voted against it, but I went ahead and just went along with everyone's sentiment in that perspective. So, at a minimum, I
So,
just want to have it reflected in the minutes, the sentence that I just dictated.
So what we are going to do, Mr. Chair, members of the board, on item 2, when they talk about the approval of the legal action report, we are going to note that it is a move to approve with the following. So we are going to put that statement on item 4.
Ibuprofen.
On item 4B, the board noted that the attached garage violates West University design guidelines. So that should be in the record and they should solve that problem.
Thank you.
And so when you come next month to then approve the minutes of today's meeting, that statement feature in the minutes of the meeting of today.
So I guess, can I withdraw my motion and make a motion to add that as part of the minutes and then it gets seconded? And then so we can avoid having to act on it again and it becomes part of the record now?
No, we just need the seconder to accept that because it's already part of your motion. That's basically what I'm saying. Or you can withdraw the motion and repeat to add that. Or the seconder can just second what you have said.
Whatever's cleanest. All I want to note is, for the record, the board was aware of the guidelines when they made the action to accept the attached garage. That's the purpose of my clarification on this item. I don't know how procedurally is best to handle.
Lou, do you second that? You second it.
Technically, yes. I was looking back over the staff executive summary from last week on this, that have we noticed anywhere along the line that this was a concern? So, Jim, I didn't see the staff noted on their summary. And so all you're trying to do is just say that we are aware that that's a requirement that we did not utter at the point in time.
We discussed it a fair amount during the course of the meeting, and since the audio recording is not part of the record because it didn't occur, no audio recording of the meeting occurred, I wanted to have the record show that we discussed it and that we voted to accept the attached garage despite.
Okay, so then that should be the language that we add to the minutes, correct? That we voted to attach it despite it being against West University policy.
I don't think we need to use those phrases. The sentence that I added to the second paragraph of the meetings as presented, I think suffices.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to check with the procedure.
And Lou, I don't mind. I like that language too. It's stronger. And it does clarify the fact that the board, with full knowledge of the design guidelines, accepted the attached garage. That's my point that I want to have on the record.
And Michael, however that's best phrased for you, I second.
And I'm prepared to withdraw motions and restate it to Michael's desire.
Well, you can withdraw the motion and restate so that we have it cleaner,
Okay.
and then Lou can support.
All right. Lou, if you don't have a beef with that, I withdraw my motion.
Agreed.
Okay. I will move that we accept the legal action report and minutes of the meeting of May 12th with the clarification on item 4D SD 0226000019 that the board was aware of the attached garage being in violation of the design guidelines and approved it despite.
I second that motion.
Okay.
All right. Hold on. Okay, we have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Jim Glock, aye.
Paul Rusk, aye.
Thank you. Haley?
Hallie, aye.
Oh, Holly, sorry. And who am I missing? Greg.
Aye.
Aye. Did I get everybody? Okay,
Thank you, guys. Sorry
motion
for
approved.
fussiness.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, call to the audience, item 3 on the agenda. Um, is there any call to the audience, Michael?
Staff did not receive any comments from the audience, Mr. Chair.
Right. Which brings us to the main course reviews. Item 4A, SD 0526 00083, 1042 North Fifth Avenue. So who is presenting for this? That's David?
I guess I am, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. How do I do this?
Hold on, David.
Oh, okay.
The chair, we provided a staff summary for this project. Do you want me to give any staff summary, or you already have what we presented? It's entirely
Has everyone on the board had a chance to read the staff summary? Has anyone not had a chance to read it? Okay. Michael, I
I've
think
read it. Uh, I think it's I can share my screen and show pictures of this, but I'm prepared to make a motion already. So
Okay. So Michael, I think since everyone's had a chance to read it and I'm not sensing there's any critical comments for the staff summary, I don't think we need to repeat it. It's already in the record.
okay. So the way this goes, David, is you will share your screen, or if you want
Okay.
to share the screen for you. I talked to him about it, so Jim is quite aware of this project. So you want to
Okay.
share your screen? I made you a co-host, so you can share your screen.
Yeah, let me just bring up preview. How do I haven't used Zoom in a while? Where is the screen sharing down the bottom?
Yeah, it's on the bottom.
On the bottom, you see the green arrow, which is saying share.
You might have to scroll your arrow down there for that.
Oh, okay. Oh, share. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So allow and okay, is this present a layout? Let's try that one. Okay. All right. So here we are.
There we go.
Okay, so let's go to the top. And so hang on a moment. Let me get out of this so I can move that window. Where are we? You move that window across. There we go. Okay, then let me share again. Okay, that's better. So here's the front page just showing where it is, 1042 North Fifth Avenue. The structure under discussion is an old garage of unknown age. Doesn't appear on the property card until 1987, but I think it's older than that. It's at the rear of the property, adjacent to Herbert Street. Here's the property card, okay, and you can see down there under 1987, that was when the garage was added to the property card. And thanks for Michael for showing me where to find the property card. Okay, and now if we go down to down the bottom, here is the inventory, which Michael also provided for me. But this shows the main house at the front, not the structure. There is no record of the structure at all. if I show you the plan here, right? Here is the main house. The main house is as shown by my cursor here, right there. And the structure in question, the garage that I want to demolish, is right at the back here, adjacent to Herbert Avenue. This is Herbert Avenue going up here, up there. All with me so far? Okay. Here's an aerial shot, right? So this is the main house down here, 1042 North Avenue. And the structure that I want to demolish, the old garage, is back here. It's that one at the back, adjacent to Herbert Avenue. And it's right on there's no setback at all. It's right on Herbert, less than a foot from where they recently repaved. Okay. So here's a street view. Sorry, this is just the way the PDF put it together. Not sure how I can turn that. But it shows that that's the pinkish structure on the edge is the garage. And you can see the deterioration at the bottom there. Okay. And these are adjacent structures. There's nothing of great historic importance on Herbert Avenue. Going to the structure itself, you can see that it's most unusual. I wasn't aware of how this was built until the plaster started to fall off in 2025 when a truck ran into it. It's basically made by stacking hollow blocks together, right? There was there's no foundation. You can see at the bottom, in some places there is some brick, in other places not. And these things here, I didn't know what they were. They're hollow. But a builder who looked at them said that those are 1970s issue flue blocks for a chimney. Whoever put this up obviously must have gotten a job lot of flue blocks, and he's just stacked them up together and put a skim coat of stucco on the outside. As soon as the stucco is disturbed, the little bit of mortar that was put inside trickles out immediately because there was not enough cement in it, right? And everything starts to settle, as you can see here. Okay. So here is another detail on the east side, facing Herbert Avenue. And you can see the process, just as soon as the stucco comes off, the whole thing starts to settle. And down the bottom, you can see that some of these blocks are in pretty sad shape. So this is the whole side then, facing Herbert Avenue. Sorry, these are the wrong way up, but you can see the settling is pretty advanced at this point. This is the historic structure at the front, but the garage is way towards the back. Okay, this is where the door was. This is on the alley where the garbage bins are placed, and that was a door, but we've owned the property, or my late wife bought the property in 91, and it was no longer used as a garage at that point. It has just been a box room since then. Going to the south side, again, you can see how badly this is deteriorated. I slapped some cement on it to first, but it hasn't stopped the deterioration. Okay. That's the whole of the south side there. And this is looking at it from the main house. Notice the crack here on the southeast corner has run all the way up the top. This is actually leaning outwards. The crack is several inches wide. And that's all I've got. Any questions or comments, or you want to look at any of the slides again?
So David, to be clear, just on what you're asking here, sorry, I'm going to put my screen back on. But you're just asking to demo this. You're not proposing placing it with anything else?
Not at this point, no. At
Okay.
this point, I just want to demo it. It's I'm worried about the liability issue. If it, I think it's slowly collapsing,
Yeah.
and I'm worried that it'll fall onto Herbert Avenue.
We walk our dogs on Herbert, and I always walk far from that building.
Right, good. Okay, so you know what poor condition
Yeah.
it's in.
And
I should-
surprisingly to you, perhaps, this is not the only structure in West University that was built with these flue blocks.
Oh, really? I had no idea.
There's another one that's in every bit as good a shape as the one you have. So, all right, Jim, I see your hand up.
Mr. Chair, I'm prepared to make a motion.
Yes.
Before the motion, Mr. Chair, so basically the review today for this structure is because this is a structure in the West University Historic Preservation Zone. As you know, all demolition of structures in the preservation zone, they have to go either to mayor and council, or they have to go to PDSD director. In this particular case, the role of the board here is number one, to determine whether this is a contributing property or not, or if this is an intrusion, or this is cannot sustain anything. If the board determines at this point in time that this structure is good to be demolished because it is not a contributing structure, then the ultimate decision, final decision will be made by the Director of Planning and Development Services, not mayor and council.
Okay.
I just wanted to put that clarification out there.
Thank you, Michael. That's actually
After this,
helpful.
David will still have to go to PROS.
So before Jim makes a motion, I want to open up for a little conversation based on what Michael just said. It seems to me, given how that thing's constructed, that it couldn't possibly be a contributing structure. I don't know if anybody has any questions about that, but let's just make sure we're clear.
It's not shown as a contributing structure on the historic mapping, nor in the inventory sheet. Pursuant to the executive summary prepared by staff, the requested action paragraph reads: the department seeks a recommendation whether to approve of the conditions or deny the proposed project, or the item may be continued to a future meeting if the applicant requests. The proposed project the proposal is to demolish a non-contributing detached garage at the rear of the lot along Herbert Avenue. I would like to make that motion. In fact, I
Before we
make that
do
motion.
that, can we, one question for David. So when the structure is removed, what's controlling access to your property? Does that form any part of the perimeter?
No, there is a wooden fence around the whole property, which I put there's once it's demolished, I'll have to add a 36. I think the structure is 36 feet long, so
Right.
I have to add another 36 feet of
So
fence.
where Greg is going, David, is that you might, in the interest, in your own self-interest,
Yeah.
that might not, you're going to have to come back and ask us to put a fence up,
Okay.
or
Or extend the existing fence.
I think that would be the same thing, correct? From our point of view.
yeah, I think rather than come back in another meeting, we might just want to, before Jim
Can we
makes a motion, say,
Can we handle
extend
that
it.
now?
I vote yes. It would be a minor review anyway.
I'll defer to
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Taku.
Mr. Chair,
Yeah.
members of the board, the issue before you today is just about the demolition. You cannot then add the fence and all this to it. Please, let's just deal with the demolition. If he needs to add a fence, he can do that as a separate application and the board can still act on that. But
All right,
today,
so
the
David,
fence
what
is not-
Richard, or what Michael is saying is, unfortunately, you are going to have to come back. It doesn't have to be a full review like we're doing here, but the request to do a fence needs to be done separately before you put a fence up.
Can that request, if we pre-approve it during Jim's motion, be done at PRS instead of coming back to us?
No,
it wouldn't come back to us anyway. It would be a
It will
minor
it will
review.
come
It'd
back
be a
to
minor
you.
review anyway.
But David would have to go through the drill of
Correct.
It will be a
of seeking
minor.
a permit, of going through the permitting process to
Okay.
get a minor review conducted.
Fair-
And
fair
David,
enough.
that's, you know,
I-
that's
I
that's
can
a headache, but it's
Yeah.
it's procedurally pretty clear once you get into it. It's just
Okay.
going to take a while.
I'll ask Michael how to do that.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's pretty simple.
Okay.
Okay, any other discussion? Jim?
Okay, I move that I move the proposal to demolish the non-contributing detached garage at the rear of the lot along Herbert Avenue.
I'll second that.
Okay, hold on, Greg seconds. And once again, we have a motion, we have a second. Any other discussion? Or hearing none. All in favor, aye.
Jim Glock, aye.
Greg,
Rusk,
aye.
aye.
Rusk, aye. And by the way, just for everybody's benefit, I see that Cece joined during the beginning of this conversation. So let's see.
Hallie Slusky, aye.
Hallie, aye. Cece, do you want to say?
Please see, the streetcar was going by.
Okay. Okay.
Tracy, what time did you join? You remember?
She joined at 6:18.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
You're welcome. All right, motion is approved. Thank you.
Thank you, David.
And happy that you're getting rid of that thing.
Yeah, I should have done it long ago.
No, that's
You may
okay.
want to keep it up till you have your permit for your fence.
For the fence. Okay, will do.
That's actually a good piece of advice. That's a
Okay.
good idea.
Right, will do.
Okay,
Well, thank you all. Can I leave the meeting at this point?
you certainly can.
Okay, thanks,
I'm sure you
thanks to
want to.
everyone. And thank you, Michael, for your guidance.
No problem. Just come to me anytime you need
Thank you.
anything to do.
Okay, moving on to item 4B, SD 0526 00082, 614 North Third Avenue. I believe, Rachel, are you presenting for this?
I am.
Let me make you the co-host here.
Okay, thank you. Okay, are you guys able to see that?
Not up. Now we do. Yep.
Okay.
So before the applicant moves into presentation, members of the board, Mr. Chair, you do have a staff executive summary, which I believe you had the chance to take a look at it. Do you want me to go through it, or you got enough to just go ahead?
All right. Does anyone on the board want Michael to go through that, or did they not have a chance to take a look at it? The staff summary?
Mr. Chair, we did have a courtesy review of this.
Right. Yeah, back earlier this year, right?
Yeah, you did. You had a courtesy review on this sometimes in February of this year, and I believe they are coming back to you basically with what they presented to you at the courtesy review. They did follow your guidance as to what was presented. The only thing that you will see from the staff report is that staff was just concerned that the additions were kind of much more bigger than the main house. Staff recognizes the fact that the main house is a small house, but the addition per se is almost like double the size of the main house. And so staff was a little bit concerned about that. But looking at the design as it is, based on our staff finding, you realize that we figure that they have sensibly designed this in such a way that Only very small portion of the addition is going to be visible from the public right of way. And we also think that the use of the breezeway as creating another unit is one of the best practices that is going on. My staff, when you look at my staff report, if you look on the roof type, we're just asking the board to look a little bit into the type of the roof that is being considered to give an opinion on this, to give some input on what is being proposed. Other than that, staff believes that this confirms with the standards required to review this further. There will be setback issues that in the course of discussing, whoever is making the motion, I believe some setback issues are going to be here. So we will be asking that please don't forget to consider setback while you do your motion so that they will not ask the applicant to go through the DDO process, which you have the authority to waive.
Right. And Michael, the scale issue that you brought up as part of the staff comments, the addition being larger than the main house, there's no conflict with our guidelines nor with code, correct? I mean, it's just an observation, right?
No, it is, Mr. Chair, members of the board, because in the historic preservation guideline, we really don't want additions to overpower the main house or to be excessive, so that is just the intent of what it is. I'm not saying that it violates any code or anything. It's just
Right.
that from the good historic preservation point of view, your role is to preserve the continuity historic house to the extent that any new addition or any new thing that is done does not overpower or becomes the main thing on the property. That is the
Right.
spirit which we're looking at.
Yep. Completely understand. And, I'm going to make a few comments pulling on that thread a little bit, especially because we have a few newer board members. Overpower is a important but subjective observation. It's not an absolute. It's got to be X percentage of the square foot of the original building. So we want to look at how this thing sits in the lot and how it looks from the right of ways, in whether it is a distraction from or takes away from the view, the ability to appreciate the main contributing structure. Whether it's a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller per se is not as important as, visually is it something where it's like obviously to overpowering and distracting from being able to appreciate the main building. Okay. All right. Thank you. So given that, Rachel, why don't you go ahead and start?
Okay. So I just want to briefly recap what we went over at the courtesy review. So we have the main house here. I'm going to scribble all over the screen. It's my favorite thing to do. So we have the main house here, and there was a porch that we sought kind of guidance on if we would be allowed to remove that I've highlighted in the purple. Then for our new addition, we wanted to have a small connector between that, and then the new addition would come here in this area. So what's shown in the pink will actually be part of residence 1 connected to the main house. And then the remainder portion, this would be living space for a second residence. And then this is just a covered porch. So while, yes, the addition is more square footage than the main house, like Michael said, almost double, part of that is actually going to still be part of that house, while part of that is also going to be for the a second residence. So we'll actually, the main residence will still actually be more square footage. But that's kind of semantics in my opinion. Okay, so then quickly to take a look. So we want to take down that porch, put in some sort of breezeway connector to our new addition. I'm going to just call this the second residence just because it's easier to speak about it in that way. But it does contain a bedroom for the main house, which doesn't have that at the moment. Well, it does have a very tiny one bedroom, but we're going to be redoing the interior to be just sort of public living space, and then the bedroom at the proposed addition. So as you guys have already touched on, because we wanted to add as much square footage as we did, we wanted to be sure that we stepped back from the main house on both the alley and 3rd Avenue. And also it was kind of tricky finding a way to elevate all of these surfaces to show the new and the old and the proposed and the existing and all of that. So there's a large number of elevations that we're going to take a look at for this. So we'll start with the proposed addition and what that will look like. We can see that here we have that outlined. The existing house is outlined. So this would be, if we were looking at the addition, you would actually be seeing, you'd only be able to see that much of it from the street as you look back. Again, so here's the front elevation, but we wanted to show all of it so that we can talk about all the doors and windows and things like that. And then this would be the south elevation. This is the existing south elevation here. This is that porch that that had been enclosed that we wanted to get rid of. And this is an existing building that we'd like to demolish that does not have any historic significance and is not contributing. So right now, this is what that building looks like that we want to take down. And this is sort of what the street view is currently looking at that house. And so there's those elevations. Let me move on to the next sheet. Here's our proposed east elevation. This is going to be, this would be from the property to the east. There's a large wall here that's existing to the neighboring property. And then we would be putting in a new fence here, and our building would act as the fence at that point, and then another fence where our building ends. This is sort of the interior courtyard look. Again, this is where the historic building is. We have that outline so you can see where that's at. This is what it looks like. This is the existing porch we want to get rid of, the existing building that we'd like to get demolished. And then our proposed addition. Something that's important to note is that our proposed height of our building is quite a bit lower than even the front porch of the main historic home. We do not want to compete with the historic home. It's beautiful. We want to restore it and have it in good shape. Again, here's that look at that porch from the back that we want to take off. It does not provide a lot. It was clearly an addition, infilled porch with wood structure. I have some photos I'll show later on showing that the foundation is crumbling and has already been rebuilt and does not have any historic integrity. And the doors and windows are also of the wrong style. That brings me to another point on the main house. Some of the windows were updated to be sliders. We know that those are not allowed, and we are proposing to have all of those changed to double hung, which will show up in the next elevation sheet. So here's where it gets a little bit busier, where you can really see this is what it's going to look like with both of them in place. And the proposed addition, like I said again, is lower than the main house, lower than the front porch, which even has a lower roof and sets back. This is the only portion that's up closer, and it still is even set back than the main house of the property as well. There's an existing site stucco wall that happens like at the backyard. We want to add some metal panels and gates to that to get a little bit more privacy for this house, because right now it's a little bit the main yard, which is really more of a side yard than a backyard, is pretty open to the public view, and we'd like to get a little bit more privacy for them. So we'd like to keep that existing stucco wall and add some metal paneling to bring it up to 6 feet high. Let's see, was there anything else? Oh, and so then another big part of this proposal is right now this area is a curb cut and a driveway cut. And so the client doesn't necessarily want to have cars on the site, but I know that's something we don't want to erase that history that was there, because there's not that many of those curb cuts on street fronts. And so we propose to put in more of just little metal retaining and more wrought iron fence, so that could easily be reversed in the future if they decide they wanted to put parking spot on the site, as it is currently. Along the alley, this is an existing, there's already an existing stucco wall, and then there's an existing wall here. I can't even think of the material right now. I'll have to look at the picture, but we want to propose to replace this back half with corrugated metal and a fence here that would match.
I'm pretty sure that's just a masonry wall there now.
Does the masonry go all the way back? I'm trying to, I have
I'm pretty
pictures
sure
of
it does, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so our idea, it's not actually on the property line, so we want to get a little bit gain. There's about a foot that we're losing right now. So we want to kind of re-grab that little bit of area just because space is tight. And so we propose to put in a metal fence just so that kind of ties into the metal fencing that we're proposing in other areas.
Okay. And it's just corrugated steel, Rachel?
Corrugated metal, probably left to rust. So we get that rust patina on it.
Okay. And the gate likewise corrugated
metal on that as
because
well.
right now I think it's
I think it's just a wrought iron, like open.
it's
gate.
open. It's like a screen.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. And so this elevation shows pretty well what we're looking at doing here with that breezeway connection. It was really important to us to really restore and maintain that existing historic house with our new addition, then stepping back from it, having a clear break between new and old. Additionally, like I mentioned previously, we want to remedy all of the windows that were replaced to be double hung rather than sliders as they are.
And I didn't have a chance to look at it and I can't read it. So could you just tell me, does the window schedule show that as wood clad, or what kind of double hung windows are you doing?
Yeah, let me zoom in here real quick. So the windows would be metal clad.
Yeah. Okay.
Metal wood clad windows, and then the elevations kind of show you what type they are. Same for the doors. We'd like to do metal wood clad, or yeah. So have the wood look to the exterior. The other thing that we would like to do, one of the design concepts for this project, so anywhere where you can see, I'm going to move up to here. So where you can see on the proposed elevations, there's areas where it's just smooth, as you can see here. And then there's areas that have this vertical pattern. So the concept here was to do a metal siding, and we would like that pattern to come wrap up and over so it looks like a single sort of element. It's a little bit more of a modern look, but that again leads to, we want to be sure that this is not masquerading as an old building. This is a new construction. And so you can see that here we have that metal siding where it will just come up and wrap over is what we're presenting. And then in the more intimate spaces and the two porches where they'll spend time will actually just be a smooth stucco on those spots. We'll jump back up to the floor plan real quick. So again, we're proposing that metal siding, is on the exterior spaces, and then where people would be spending time, we have a more as a stucco finish. It's kind of a cleaner, nicer surface for that. But the big reason for this is we really wanted to do a material that's going to last. It's not going to be a maintenance issue. We want it to be withstanding for a long time. The other thing that we wanted to do, this element right here, is a little outdoor fireplace that also gives us a good stopping point for our roof line. It's actually a fireplace for the main house yard rather than the guest house or the second residence. And so I just want to point out that that is part of this. There's nothing against it. I just want to make sure everyone's aware that
Where's
that's
yeah, I'm not questioning anything. Where's the chimney for that?
it's
Right.
this guy right here.
Yeah. Does the chimney go above the roof line? It must go above the roof line.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
okay. I just
I
I
can show
can't
it.
pick it up on the elevation.
Yeah, give me 1 second to find one. There we go.
Oh, okay. And you know that's high enough?
It only needs to be 2 feet higher than any roof within 10 feet, and it's the highest point of this roof.
Okay.
And it's, you know, a good 20 feet away from the main house
Mhm.
here.
Okay.
So, okay, let me jump down to some pictures here. So this is the main house. Here you can see those sliders. This is that porch again we're talking about removing, and then we want to replace all of these windows to be double hung. Down here, same thing again. That one I think is the only one that actually is double hung, but it's in really bad shape, so it will also be replaced. All new windows to match to be the correct type. This is that porch. How I became part of this project was I was contacted because they got a stop work order because they started some demo without realizing all of the process that needs to go on. And so, which actually kind of helps because we were able to see then what is actually happening with this porch to see that while the porch has been there for a long time, it being enclosed and the materials used are not in great shape. And then also, as Rick mentioned, you are correct, that is a stucco wall that continues all the way down on the alley side. Again, here's some pictures of the porch that we want to remove, and then that outbuilding that we'd like to also demolish. Here's what the inside of the porch looked like at one point. Here's what it looks like now. And as we can see, there's the foundation is crumbling, and it seems like it's been repaired a few times with just stacked block. There's mortar only in some areas, and it's all kind of crumbling down. There's another photo of what's going on there. And as you can see, the materials for the upper portion of the porch, you can tell, well, this was shoring during construction. So these obviously are newer members, but you can see even these are.
Hey, Michael, can you mute, please?
These members down here are actually older, and some of them are in okay shape. Some of them have quite a bit of termite damage. Our intention is to reuse any of these older members that we can in a more aesthetic way on the interior remodel so that we can preserve some of that to keep some stuff out of the landfill. Here's just some pictures from around the neighborhood, some contributing properties within our development zone. Our addition is going to kind of be coming in back in here behind this property, and it will be set back from both those. This kind of shows that little driveway cut that I was talking about, that we want to just kind of infill it more with landscaping rather than hardscaping so that it could be returned to a driveway cut if we wanted to again. Here's some examples of corrugated metal fencing within the development zone. So we want to do something probably this doesn't have a top rail, and I think we would like to do frames around ours just to give it some more structural integrity. And then this are some examples of zero lot lines within the development zone, which we are asking for some reduced setbacks there. Here is the inventory form. It's very faded, but we can kind of see here nothing. So, but the description is kind of what I think is important, where it talks about the stone foundation, having the brick, the stone retaining wall at the front, white stucco surface. So these are all things that we want to restore. It has the 2 chimneys. We're going to make sure those are in good shape. And we want to maintain that historic influence that's there, that Victorian bungalow look, which is why we really wanted to make the addition something totally different so that it wasn't competing or trying to create a false sense of history. Any questions?
Okay, thank you, Rachel. Let me,
Mr. Chair, just a minute. Can I ask Sean, who are you representing?
Sean's representing this property.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Sean is the owner.
Yeah,
Oh, okay. Thank
Sean's
you.
the owner. Yeah.
Thank you.
I didn't know he was on here. Hi, Sean.
Hi.
Okay, so thank you, Rachel. Let me open it up to the board for questions or comments.
Rachel is, I think we're calling it living space number 2, second bedroom. Is there a proper entrance to that, or is it only through the porch and then through the interior of the building?
So there's going to be essentially 2 units here. So there'll be the main house, which has access through here to a bedroom back at the back here. And then the second residence, second building, it's kind of blurs the lines because it's technically addition, but they actually will have their own like front yard entrance, which I was talking about. That's that part that's going to be coming through that existing kind of parking notch that we're going to turn into a landscape entrance, and then we'll have a fence that kind of separates the 2
So
here.
that's the double door and the transom on the side.
That is the double door with the side light. That is their like main entrance into that house. Correct.
Got it. Thank you.
Yep. And then they actually have a little pocket garden back here. So they have a small backyard that is actually in this area. And then they have this front yard. And they have a private front yard and then the sort of more public facing front yard.
Copy. Thank you.
Rachel, that front entrance, is that going to be smooth stucco, or will that be the metal siding?
It will kind of be a little bit of both. So we have, let me find that front. Here we go. So imagine those gates are here. We removed the gates so we could actually see everything. So it will be stucco within the porch, but it has metal siding that kind of wraps that. Let's see, I think this one shows it well. So you would actually have, so we have the stucco wall up front with the corrugated fencing and gates here. And then it's all actually stucco within there. And then this is that fireplace, which will also be stucco. And then it will be the wrapped metal will kind of do something like that. So you'll just see a little bit of, it will really just look like a metal fascia because it's just the wall end and the porch end at that point, and then stucco all within that. And then the metal comes as you step back into more of the yard space.
Yeah, that's the only thing that stood out for me. And what stands out is that I don't think that material has been used anywhere in West University. It's not that I've seen in my wanderings. And I'm just going to throw that out to the rest of the board. What do we think about this? What I would consider a very modern material being exposed to Third Avenue. Now, very minor exposure, and I really like that, but just in general, what do we think about this, the metal panels on the siding?
I kind of think it plays a lot like fascia wrap as she talked about it. I see it on new and old homes, as a way to get rid of certain older fiberboard sort of skins, if you will.
Yeah, I like the material, but I definitely like the maintenance. That's
Yeah.
Yeah. That
We
was
actually
really
see it, Greg. I'm trying to think about whether it's on any of the main streets, the avenues or streets, but I know we see it on the named alleys.
yeah. And it's definitely as Lou mentioned, more of it's like a fascia wrap at the
Yeah,
on the areas exposed to the alley and the street. And the paneling is actually further back. It would just be that, those edges wrapped.
right.
it's more of a side note as far as our guidelines, because it's
Right.
something new that's not really mentioned in our guidelines, so it might be something we have to address in the future.
Yeah, yeah. I kind of like it. I mean, it's a nice way to differentiate, and it's set back. I mean, it's kind of, when you're looking at these elevations, but it's set back from that fence a little bit, right,
Right.
Rachel?
Yeah, let me go back to the site plan. Yeah, so essentially what would be happening here is this wall and this wall.
Right.
So those are these are the walls that have the metal wrap. And then as you come inside, it's actually stucco, because this is a porch up here at the front.
All right.
And then
Okay, so
the
it's even
same
further
here.
back than I
Yeah.
realized.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's set back quite a ways from the
Okay.
street. And then you have so we have a large sort of right of way, I guess, and
Yeah, that
before the
right of
property
way
line
is
even starts.
yeah,
Yeah,
that right of way is 10 feet
exactly.
or more, right?
It's a lot. I want to say, I thought I had a measurement on here, but I'm not seeing it now. I want to say our house is set back 15, so that's probably 20. And then we're back another 8 or so. And
Yeah.
then the porch, this is a porch space here. And so the house is set back even further
Right.
back. So
Thank you.
Richard, the section that you are proposing to demolish, do you know the year of construction on that one?
I don't, I know when I was looking at the Sanborn maps, let me pull up my courtesy review. Hang on, because I had that on the courtesy review.
The reason I ask is because once you go to zoning and demolition is coming in, you might further want you to either do documentation and that kind of thing. So that's why.
Right. I anticipated needing to document that as a
Yeah,
historic. Correct. Yeah.
It will
Thank
be
you.
done. Just so.
Yeah.
I can say though, because I have had the opportunity, the owner had let me kind of look at the inside. I mean, it bears no resemblance to any original materials back there. I mean,
It doesn't. That's a big part of why. Yeah. So this was the
it's actually
courtesy.
kind of scary to think about using it.
Yeah, we would completely have to, reconstruct the foundations. I mean, it has these old wood members, which are great, but the foundations are,
That's just modern CMU that's stacked
it's just
with
stacked
no
up.
mortar
No,
or anything.
nothing. It's definitely a little scary.
Okay, Jim Block, I see you have your hand up.
A couple things. One is I think this is just great. I love the way that the modern architecture frames the historic building. I'd like to see more of this. It really is. It balances the two. I just think it's really ingenious what you've come up here. Overall,
Thank you.
it really, really looks great. I have a question for Mr. Taku, and Rachel. I want to make sure if I were to make the motion or whomever makes it, what setbacks we need to note are being waived and how to do that. And then also I understand we would want to clearly state we approve the demolition of the addition. Are there
Right.
any other
We want to, so we
item?
want to approve, sorry, we would want to get the demolition of the porch and those non-contributing structures. So I want to make sure
Okay.
that's one of
Yeah,
the
those are
things.
two separate items, in my opinion,
Yeah.
too.
Yes, and
Um,
then, so we have a 0 lot line along the south,
right.
and then along the east, I don't remember.
Well,
I
I mean, I can help you with that. I
So,
believe that
well,
the,
we were just coming off a couple inches. So could we, Michael, let me know if this would work. Could we just say a reduced setback, or do we want the exact inches? I can add it to before we go to CPRS.
Perhaps we
I
can
thought it
just
was on
reference the plans.
It will be
Yeah.
referencing what you have on the plans.
Okay,
Okay.
I will make sure we get that dimension added. I thought it was on here, but I'm not seeing it.
Yeah.
So, but it is a 0 lot line on the south, and then
Okay.
a couple inches off of the east.
so yeah, I
Alright.
think, Rachel, it's a good idea.
Yeah,
because
I'll get those added on
You
there.
don't have the actual lot line on the east drawn. I don't think you do.
It is. It's the really heavy line. So it's this dash line.
Oh, that's the actual
That's
lot
the
line?
actual property line. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And you're proposing being just short, just shy of that, the way you've drawn it?
Yeah, just because, so the fence that's there right now, this is the block fence that's existing that was built.
Right.
And then we have that little jog, and then there's another fence that comes in along here. So
Right.
we kind of wanted to honor, it's actually, sorry, that existing fence is in a little bit more. So we kind of wanted to honor that existing fence jog, and we were going to come off the property line a little bit to kind of maintain the boundaries that have been established for a while.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I know I brought this up at the last meeting, and I just need to know, because have you looked at where the trees are that are along that fence on the east
Yes.
side?
And
are they
so our thoughts were oh yeah, here it does show that that's a block wall, I guess. Yeah, we think that those trees could probably come out, and we'll do different planting there because they're pretty heavy litter generating trees, and we would prefer to have a cleaner situation back here.
I was talking about the ones that are on the east side. There's
Oh,
privets.
along this line?
Yeah. They're just, have you looked at how close they are to the wall, and are you going to have to cut those? I mean, what's going to go on with those?
They'll probably have to come out for construction.
The trees will have to come out?
The ones along the east, yeah. Because they're close to the property corner, correct?
No, well, no, not to the corner. They're close to if you scroll, oop. Okay.
Like, are they further back here?
No, I don't know how to draw. So there, you can't see my cursor. You can just barely see them. They're along,
Are
where
they under the E and recently?
they're the ones that are the kind of behind the sheds you're going to demo.
Okay. hang
Yeah,
on
in
one
that
second.
area, right there. Yes.
In here. Okay. On our side of the property line? Or on our
No,
side of the fence?
they're on the other side of the property line. Well, yes,
Okay.
the way you draw.
Other side of the wall.
Yeah, the
They're
other side of the wall.
they're on this side of the wall.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, we don't want to touch those at all. We wouldn't
Okay.
want them. We're not even touching, so that block wall that's here, we're not going to touch that. We're not going to do anything with that. And our foundation actually steps back at this point to give us a little yard space here.
Yeah.
So
Next time you're there, just go take another look at them, because they go beyond where that notch is.
they come a little bit further down.
Yeah.
Right, but they're not on our side of the property, so we wouldn't be.
The way you've drawn it, it looks like no. I didn't know where the property line was, so
Here, let me go back and show you.
Richard, I thought Jim asked a very important question to you, that you should list out the items that you are wanting from the board today. So when he's making the motion, he knows exactly
I-
the items. There's a
I have
porch,
those.
there's a setback. Okay.
Yeah. So we're trying
So
to get
that's-
settled on where that
So that's the
setback,
property line is the orange.
right,
This red is the existing block wall,
right.
and
But
our
the orange also, I'm sorry, north of the red line you drew is an existing block wall also. And I'm just asking because you got to look at and there's some trees that are along that block wall, the orange block wall, north of the red.
Mhm.
So just look and see how much are you going to be okay with that? I think the way you're drawing it, the answer is yes, but
They should be if they're not on our side of the wall.
yeah, and I can't tell that from because you don't have them drawn on here, which I understand why.
Yeah.
But that's what you should. I just asked that question.
So you are saying so I know that this is highly vegetated all here. So you're saying there's some trees in this area too.
Yeah, I think there's two, maybe there's three.
Okay. Okay.
Right. And they're close to the wall, but they're not, I mean, given what you're drawing, it's probably not a big deal. It's probably not an issue.
Yeah, so our foundation is going to be back here.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, no, it's back like this.
Next time you have an opportunity to be by the property, could you just take a look at that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. But otherwise, I mean, I'm with Jim. I mean, I think this is great. One of the things, a couple things for the board that I really want to make sure we go on record with. Two comments going back to staff were, what do we think about the roof line? Because it's quite a departure from, yeah, there you kind of get a sense of it. And then what do we think about the scale of the addition relative to the main house? And I guess I'd like to make sure we're on record having discussed those two things.
Okay. Mr. Chair, I can make a motion that would incorporate that.
Okay. Does anybody have any issue with the roof line or the scale of the building, the addition?
I like how it happens this way as opposed to the double-story thing behind some of the
Right.
ones that have been done here. I think as an overall with the setback that all of this is to the back of the property, it's even going to be more diminished from an overall volume perspective, just because none of it is sort of street side. So it will never it'll always seem diminutive to the main house. At least that's my perspective.
Mm-hmm. And I think the roof line is, it's very modern and it just helps distinguish the addition, the old from the new. Okay. If there's no other questions, Jim, if you would like to make a motion.
Thank you. I move that we note that the roof line and scale of the additions are acceptable and appreciated by the board, and move that the setbacks as noted on the plans with 0 to the south and as shown on the plans to the east are acceptable. We support the demolition of the addition and the non-contributing structure to the south. Rachel, anything else I need to cover?
You're looking at the best pictures.
Do you maybe clarify is the porch addition? I don't know if that really matters.
Yeah, I think that
Need them as two items.
And then I don't think so. I
Oh,
think that's,
okay. Yeah, the demolition of the porch addition specifically.
yeah,
is
the
what I'm
porch.
noting.
Yeah, just call it
And
porch.
and the structures on the south end of the property. Or the non-contributing structures separate.
On the
Excuse me,
east,
on the
southeast.
on the
Southeast corner.
southeast corner, standalone non-contributing structure. There we go. Sorry, whomever's motion. I can repeat it.
I think we're starting
Or
to
maybe
use
I can
AI
type
to
it in
record all
chat.
this stuff, so
Okay.
Yeah, it's being transcribed.
it's being transcribed. So gosh only knows what it's going to say. All right, we have a motion. Do I have a second?
So I have it as saying that the roof line and the scale of the addition are acceptable and appreciated by the board.
Yes.
That the zero setback on the south and the east are also acceptable by the board.
No.
And that
The east is as shown. So zero setback on the south
No.
and as shown on the
And as
east.
shown on the east. Correct.
okay, zero setback on the south and on the east as shown on the plans.
Mhm.
And then the demolition of the porch addition and the non-contributing structure on the southeast corner.
Correct.
I second the motion.
Right, we have a motion. We have a second.
Is that who seconded?
Lou,
was Lou.
Lou seconded.
Okay, thank you.
And we have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none. All in favor, aye. Rick, aye.
Jim Glock, aye.
Oh, I.
Paul, aye. Lou,
Aye.
Greg, Holly,
Aye.
Cece.
Aye.
I think I got everybody.
Barry,
You forgot Hallie. You called her
No.
Holly again.
I'm sorry. Is it Holly or Hallie?
It's Hallie.
It's
Hallie.
highly.
Okay, I'm gonna get that right. It'll take me like 4 more times, maybe. I apologize. Okay, we are approved unanimously. Rachel, good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate your time tonight.
Okay, moving on now to item 4C, which is a courtesy review. TPPRE 0426 00085, 48 East First Street. Who is Raul? I see you there, but who's oh, Ricky, are you
Oh,
presenting
yeah,
that?
that's me. Yes.
Okay.
Hello. Yeah, so
Hold on, let me make you the co-host.
straight.
Madam Chair, members of the board, as a courtesy review, this is not, we did not provide any staff summary for this, but when they will come back to you, you'll get our input from this. This is just a presentation for information and feedback from the board so they can go back and design their project and come back to you. That is
Okay.
why you don't have staff reports. But
Thank
I
you.
have made you the co-host, Ricky.
All right, Ricky, do you know how to share your screen?
Okay. Open the document. Presentation there. Oh, that's not the one. Not the one. Mhm. I'm sorry, guys. It's gonna take me.
If you'd like, I have the item as presented in the agenda up and ready to share, if that would
Okay.
be helpful.
Yes, I appreciate that.
Okay, Michael, can I be given
So let me
shares? And then
let me
Ricky,
make
you
you
need,
the,
thank you.
let me make you Jim the co-host.
Thank you. And then Ricky, you'll need to guide me to the images you want to have me share or
Okay.
show. I'm going to start out with the photo of the property.
Yes, that is the front of the house right there.
Okay.
And that's 48 East First Street.
And this is, okay.
And the homeowners are Raul and Perry that are attending the Zoom meeting.
I'm going to move down to your SketchUp drawings, which I thought were very helpful. These are, I'm flipping through surrounding properties, but here we go. Stand by. There we go. Can you see that, everyone?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so we saw the photo, and here is, I think, a summary of what Ricky's proposing. Ricky, it's your show.
Okay, so it's actually two different projects for this presentation that will require two separate permits. We are still determining which project will start first.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Okay, do you want to do the windows for the basement?
yeah, so I want to start first with the inventory sheet.
Okay. Inventory sheet, help me.
I think it should be page 19, actually. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, that's the last page. Going the wrong direction. Okay, stand by. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, it is there's the address 48 East First Street, and it is a bungalow style, and it's been up since 1922. Okay, so there you have that. And then the project, if we go to page 4, please. Okay, so this is, where's page 4? Is that page 4?
Is this the right page?
Go down, go down.
Okay.
That one right there. Oh, you passed it.
Okay, here we
Right
go.
there. Okay, so this project will convert the existing unoccupied basement into a music entertainment room with a bar area, full restroom, and guest bedroom. So right now the space was just storage, and they want to make a living space out of this. And like I said, bar, living room, music area, bedroom, its own bathroom with a washer and dryer. And to meet code, it requires enlarging two of the windows, which are here on the south. Yep, that one and the other one to the other side. They're currently 2 feet by 10 feet wide, and the code requirement is 4 feet wide by 3 feet tall. And the window wells would also have to meet code for emergency egress.
And Ricky, for clarification, those windows are below grade, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Okay, the proposed window and window well sizes are the minimum required to meet code. The new windows will follow the neighborhood's established design material. These windows will be very difficult to see them from the North 6th Avenue. Okay. Let me see. Okay, in addition, an existing 3 feet wide by 2 feet tall boarded up window on the north side. So if we go back to that page number 4,
Oh,
it
sec-
is where it on the note number 1, keynote 1, by the bar. There you go. Oops, you just had it right now.
Yep.
Right there. Okay, an existing 3 feet wide by 2 feet tall boarded up window on the north side of the residence will be replaced with a new window to match the existing size. This will not only bring an original window back, but it is also required by code to provide minimum amount of natural light and ventilation required. Right, Perry, that's the one that's boarded up?
Yes, it's boarded up and it's currently being used for venting the wash or the dryer, venting the dryer.
Okay, and now we're gonna, if we're all good with that, if we can go to page number 5. One down. Okay, page number 5. Okay, so we're looking at keynote, if we can go just a little tiny bit up. Keynote, I believe that's number 3. Yep, number 3 right here. There you go. Number 3 is the chimney. Okay, the owners would also like to remove the existing west non-functioning chimney. There are some life, safety, structural concerns and replace it with a skylight.
Uh-oh.
Is okay, so that's number 3 right there for the chimney. Okay, so that's the first project. Any questions on that one, or should I keep going to second and then?
Oh, real quick, that chimney is on the south side of the building?
Yes,
Or,
of the peak of the roof of the.
okay, so it's on
Oh,
the
I'm sorry. Let me ask Perry. Perry, is that chimney,
That's
is
on the
that,
north
or is
side.
it facing the street?
It's the north side.
It's
Yeah.
the north side, okay.
okay.
Yes.
The chimneys and the
Well, it's on the
west side by the kitchen.
well, it's
There
northwest.
it is.
Northwest.
By
Yeah.
the kitchen. It's in the, yeah, there you go.
That's it.
It's northwest. The other one is northeast.
Yeah. So let's expand a little bit about what's the safety concern or structural concern?
So they have the stairs going down to the basement, and that thing is literally almost in front of the stairs as you're going down.
Yeah.
Correct.
So, I mean, okay, so that's as it's inside the building is what you're saying.
Yes, the
Right.
chute is going all the way down to the main
So
floor.
chimneys normally are considered to be an important aspect of the external appearance of the house. However, we don't require they be functional. So can you just simply, and I can tell you this from the house I live in, I have chimneys that just penetrate the roof line and go nowhere. The structure underneath is gone. So I think that's probably something you guys need to consider instead.
Okay, so you're basically saying to mimic a chimney, correct?
Correct. Mimic the existing chimney. That's actually what's required by the guidelines, but it doesn't matter whether that chimney is actually functional.
Okay. Fair
And
enough.
excuse me, everyone, I will have to get off the call, and for the record, wanted to note it is 7:26, and this is Hallie Zablaski.
Thank you, Hallie.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hey, Rick, just as this is the first time as a board member we've been discussing this, and one of my things is if you're doing a faux chimney for the aesthetic, does it still need to be the same heights as above the roof line as it would if it was a serviceable chimney?
Well, let's discuss because the guidelines are silent on that subject. They say preserve the chimney, something to that effect. Because you're trying to keep the aesthetic the same as the original
Correct.
design.
And several houses have lots of chimneys. Almost none of them have more
Right.
than one in use.
Right. You probably are the same way, right, Lou?
Correct.
Yeah.
And, I'm just curious if as we look at it, it's the aesthetic we're keeping, so that's great. But, kind of in his case where he's looking at it a little bit of a safety thing and he's going to have to emulate it for the style. Kind of that picture he's showing us there, as long as it protrudes up and it can be seen, it's probably compliant from a architectural compliance side for us.
Michael, do you have an opinion on that from an HPO point of view?
No, I think the whole main thing on the guidelines is there's that reference in the guidelines that they say that the chimneys should be maintained, whether they are functional or they are not. So, as much as mimicking the chimney will be creating a false sense of history, but it is still a very good idea to at least ensure that there was a chimney there, whether it is functional or not.
Yeah. Now, in this particular case, and then Lou and I could come up with other examples if this isn't true, that chimney is pretty short as it is. But there are others where the chimney is pretty tall.
Yeah.
Yeah, the steeper your roof pitch, the taller your chimney.
Yeah, exactly. So in this particular case,
It's a couple of feet.
yeah, it doesn't look like it's very much of anything.
Well, I mean, for this project, I like the fact that we're saying, yes, we should emulate it and move on. I was just asking as a guidance point for all chimney discussions.
No,
That
that's
height
good. That's a
thing.
good point. But I guess, yeah. So in the interest of moving on, I think it's best if you try and emulate the dimensions of the existing chimney, even if it's just framed stucco. Is the chimney right now stucco?
No, it's brick.
It's brick.
It's brick.
Mhm.
Okay.
No problem.
I mean, I take your word for it. If it's brick, that's fine. But they're really in the below what you see. If it's just a frame that's holding it up, I'm fine with that. It doesn't matter whether there's an actual like chimney and firebox and all that stuff below it.
Oops. Okay. Ricky, where do you want to go next?
I want to just get some closure on the chimney. So do we want to build it to exact dimensions, or do we want to go ahead and have that per code as well? Because I know you guys were mentioning it was a little bit short.
No. Just replicate it as is.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah,
Thank
you don't have to bring it to code since it's non-fi.
Okay.
Whatever code
Oh,
exists.
I'm sorry, I don't know what I
Right.
was thinking.
This is Disneyland. We're just
Yeah,
being cosmetic here.
Yeah, I got you. Okay, so on page 4 of 19, please. Okay, is that page 4 of 19? Yes, it is. Okay, oops,
There we go.
is that page 4?
No,
That's
I'm now
5.
on page 5.
Yep.
So, do you want to continue to talk about the basement and the windows, or do you want to talk about?
No, that was all I had for the
Okay.
basement.
Okay.
Okay.
So
And
page
and
4
for
of
the
19.
benefit of, I'm sorry, for
Go
the
ahead.
benefit of Ricky and Raul and Well, do we want to basically say that the window sizes that's being proposed for the basement seem appropriate? I'm asking that of the board. Uh, and or Michael to weigh in to offer them some guidance. Are there any issues with the basement windows as proposed?
Did you say that what you proposed actually meets the code?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the minimum
Okay,
requirement.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Right. And from an aesthetic point of view, they're all essentially below grade, right? They're all
Right.
window wells, so you can't see it from the street.
The depiction that I see is that a casement window, or what would one use for windows below below grade like that? I presume we're going to ask that the materials be wood clad, metal clad wood.
Metal clad wood. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
do you
no,
have a
I-
window
I-
schedule? I guess I don't see that you have an actual schedule. So
No.
what are you proposing there for those windows? Because there's got to be,
Let me get that information to you. The neighborhood's established design material.
Okay.
yeah, that's not actually going to work for me. So I need
that's
you.
what we have so far. I don't think we had a schedule, but yeah, we can go back with Chuck and ask. Maybe he has it in another file. So I'll definitely ask him the question and have him get back to you guys.
So you have two things to think about, Ricky. One is I presume the specific windows you're making larger are because there has to be an egress from those windows, right? So there's a code issue that has nothing to do with historic guidelines on specific kinds of windows that you can egress through a window well. And then just in general for approving any kind of drawing like this, we need to see like what are you proposing? You have to be very specific. And you're going to need that information when you go to the next meeting, which is with PRS.
Mr. Chair, they're not even at the level of waiting.
Oh, yeah, that's
They
true.
they still have to come back to you
Yeah, you got to come back to me.
if they
That's
choose
right.
to
We're-
continue the project.
This is not even the courtesy review, correct?
This
This
is
is the courtesy review, but you're
Okay,
going to
okay.
have to come back. So what
Okay.
we need to see is, no kidding, a window schedule.
Okay.
And whatever conforms to code for what you're trying to do. As I said, I think you're trying to create two windows that allow egress. And then to what Jim was asking is like, what are they made of? Are they wood clad or uh, solid
clad
wood or
wood
metal, or
or-
what are you proposing?
The guidelines should offer you some guidance, your architect some guidance on that.
Yeah.
And then you should perhaps consult with historic preservation folks on the type of window. You probably are going to be struggling for what type of window is appropriate from a fire egress perspective.
Okay.
And that may govern over the historic
And yeah,
desires.
I agree with
So,
Jim on that one. Whatever's required for fire egress is going to dominate.
Okay, and everything else in the basement looked okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks fine. I mean, generally speaking, the historic part, don't get too hung up on the interior part.
All right, so to continue on, we're on, I believe, page number 4. Let me see, is that 4?
that's 4. I think you want to
go to 5, maybe?
you want to start talking about the garage.
No, that's part of the garage right there, page 4.
Yeah.
Okay, so the second project we'll be discussing, and again, we're still determining which project will go first, is a 1-car detached garage and porch, carport area.
Yeah. So this drawing that Jim's scrolling up to now, I think is what's interesting to us, is like how these roof lines all work together.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Is there an aerial view? Let me
I
look
don't,
real quick.
there is not.
Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, then I'll
No.
leave it on this. So
Okay.
So Ricky, just as since Jim asked the question, I was going to say it too. The next time I see this, we need a plan view that includes the garage roof line, this entire garage roof line you're showing us. The plan view that you have right now shows it as if the garage is standing completely free and detached from the main house, which is not what you're proposing.
Can you scroll up? I don't know if there might be one in there.
Now, see, if you look at that, there's nothing. There's a building to the left that doesn't connect to the building on the right.
It's a six. That's right.
So
there
this
is a
page,
roof line.
There is a roof line that says
I think you gotta scroll down more. It says 6 inches away from the property. This is Perry speaking. Sorry, Werner.
no,
No,
that's
Perry,
fine.
what I'm saying is that the breezeway or whatever you want to call it, that's between the garage and the main house, I don't see a plan view of that.
We had it somewhere. I seen it.
Yeah, but we don't have it, is what I'm saying.
Oh, gee.
So if it needs to be part of the package.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not included in this. It's not.
It is not included. It's in these SketchUp views. I
It's
see
in the
that.
I think
SketchUp
the back
views.
part, it might show the separation from the existing.
No, I understand that, Perry. I'm just saying that the actual plan view. So I love these SketchUp drawings, by the way, and I think Jim already commented on that earlier. These are very, very, very helpful. However, what I will also say is what gets signed off are the actual architectural elevation and plan views, which these are not. These are
Okay, I understand.
I'm trying to be we're being kind of anal about it in a way, but it is
No,
actually what we're approving.
Understand.
So somewhere you must have an actual plan view showing that
Did you write
that roof connecting to your existing roof.
Okay, we'll get back to Chuck.
Yeah, I'm
Your
sure you have
architect
it.
should know that. So
Okay. Let me see.
Page 6 of 10 seems like
Okay, so the garage,
missed that.
carport area. Okay, the detached garage will set back further from East First Street than the existing residence. So if we
Right.
look at the front view, it is set back further. I don't know exact dimensions without looking at the plan.
in page 6.
And is there already a curb cut for that garage?
Yes, it's existing. Yes.
Okay, so that's lined up with the existing curb cut.
If you can clarify that for me, Perry.
no,
there-
it's there.
There's a
I'm-
curb cut. Yes,
Okay.
that lines up with the garage only, not with the carport. You have to make that angle.
Well, so, okay, Perry, are you asking? So the existing curb cut lines up with the garage,
Yes,
and you're not proposing a new curb cut that goes beyond that, or are
I
you?
think we don't have it proposed. I think we need to propose. I don't know. But we don't have
So-
it proposed. If we can make the angle, we will do that.
For the benefit of the board, I've talked to Perry and Raul about this to some degree. So they have a detached garage aligned with the existing curb cut. And I think they have an interest in being able to park another vehicle next to the garage, between the garage and the home. And so what we're seeing here in this space right here is enough space for a car to pull
Right.
in under a roof. And so I guess for the benefit of Perry and Raul, you guys, I didn't see these plans and get a chance to talk to you, but having this structure attached in any way to the existing home is not in our design guidelines. It's something that is discouraged.
Okay. So
So
guys,
you need to fuss with this a little bit to see if you can separate it.
Okay.
Granted, the few times it rains, you'll have to get wet to get to your car. But
Right.
To have the roof line attached to the existing home is going to give us some grief if you were to submit this formally.
Okay.
okay.
Even though there's some separation from
Only 6 inches.
6 inches separation.
No, that ain't gonna, that's
That's nothing. So
That's not gonna, I see what you're saying is that you got a little separation here, this teeny weeny bit. No,
That
it looks,
actually,
but I'll defer to the rest of the board on that, but I don't, I would have some anxiety over that, so.
All right. But do you have any suggestions?
can I ask you before we give you suggestions? Because again, your drawings are kind of hard to, when we get down to this level of detail, it's kind of hard to be sure what we're looking at.
I'm
So,
gonna move to the SketchUp because I think they tell the story better.
okay, go
So I
ahead.
might, let me,
I'm trying to figure out, before I have an opinion on this, is the new structure in any way, shape, manner, or form going to touch the old structure? Like physically touch it?
No.
No.
If we go up to page 1, please.
okay, just a moment. This is page 1.
Oh,
Here we
no,
go.
all the way up.
This is page 1 is the cover letter.
Yes, so that's our scope of work, and I believe it should have a.
No, I need to see a drawing. I'm sorry. I'm not interested in the text. Um, I apologize for saying it that way, but like these drawings need to be like the drawings themselves are the things that everybody signs off on, the city signs off on and whatnot. So where does it show whether the
So if we can go back down, it should show on some of those elevations there.
Oops, just a sec. Didn't get it erased. Sorry.
Okay, so it shows a little bit right there where it's not touching.
Oh, right here.
Mm-hmm.
that north elevation though is very hard to understand when you look at
This
it.
is, yeah. This roof is
Keynote number 7 right there shows it as well.
moved out
That
of the
north
SketchUp.
elevation is unclear to me. And that SketchUp is unclear to me, the middle drawing. I'm trying to understand how that new garage roof is intersecting if you look at the middle drawing. Actually, can you zoom in on the top drawing, the top of that page where the roof lines meet?
It's
Yeah.
above.
It's kind of because it's SketchUp, right? So it's not clear to me what's going on right at that. God, I wish I could draw intersection.
So they're saying that this is oops, this is 6 inches. That's
It,
not the right, hang on. That dimension is 6 inches,
it's
right?
so I use SketchUp myself. This isn't acceptable as a thing I can approve or not approve. I could see that as actually touching the house in multiple places where somebody's gonna have to chip out stucco or take off roof shingles or whatever. And if that's not your intent, the drawing isn't clear enough.
Okay.
Kind of where Jim's going and where I'm going.
This looks like it's touching.
Yeah, that just looks like it's a budding.
This looks like it's a budding.
Yeah.
There needs to be some clear, there should be, in my opinion, a gap between the
There
two.
should be a gap. And we do that frequently. And the gap doesn't have to be much. And the gap, Jim was talking about getting wet. You may not have to get wet. I mean, if the gap just if the new goes under the eave but doesn't touch the new building, under the eave of the old building, but doesn't touch it, then you may not get wet, which is fine. And I actually had to do this myself in my property. It's a very small gap, but there's a gap.
Not bad.
And
It's a good idea.
and your drawings just that drawing does not help me.
Yeah, we can have the gap.
Yeah, I can have Chuck work
Shorten
on
that up.
drawings.
Yeah,
The challenge is the shed roof piece sticking out.
Right, that is a challenge.
So, and then the door that you would use to get out to the
right.
carport is here.
We can't remove that. That's part of the
No, no,
building.
no, you're
No,
fine
no.
keeping all that as it is, but where Jim's saying, and I think even maybe you and I talked about this when I was looking at your property, that's kind of a weird dimensional thing, which is solvable, but it's not being adequately shown here so that we can approve it.
Okay.
Okay, noted.
Rick, may I ask a question, Mr. Perry?
Of course.
Do you see a possibility if we designed it to where maybe we can move a separate building and have a bigger building where we might be able to fit 2 cars in, like
Yes,
a garage?
in
Do
my-
you think we have enough room? The people behind us said that they don't mind if we go close to the wall, and the people next door said they don't mind if we go close to the wall. And already the walls are there's when we had it surveyed, the walls we got a little extra room.
Yeah.
The walls
So
are
Perry,
in.
Perry, you can, I mean, we're all kind of familiar with where you are. I believe you have examples in your what I call development zone, which is the radius right around where you live,
Right.
where you can go pretty close or even to the lot line.
That's what we thought, and we wanted to know that.
If in your area, you're part of town, so think about the 1 block radius around where you are. If other folk have 0 lot line, that needs to be part of your package. And if we agree with you, have the authority to advise the city to say that we are okay with you changing your setbacks. I mean, you've been sitting here listening to us talk about setbacks like on the previous presentation. It is not uncommon in West University to have 0 lot line or very short setbacks. We just ask that you show that that's a precedent in this specific, area right around where you are, two or three houses in every direction. And if you got an example of that, then fine. You don't have to conform to city code
What page is that?
if there is precedent in your area that that says it's okay to go beyond that, to go shorter than that. That makes sense?
Yes.
Here's an aerial.
And by the way, I don't want, having said that, just echoing something you said of my neighbor said it's okay. It really needs to be showing, yeah, kind of like here's a drawing and here's where the setbacks are only 1 foot or 2 feet or 0 feet or whatever. That's what Jim's trying to show here.
Right.
You could very well have room here and have setbacks for a 2-car garage. I don't know what this width would be, but
Yeah, I don't know either, but I think it's worth looking at. I think
Yeah.
it'll save you some headaches. But
Yes.
nonetheless, I will say, if you do that, which is fine, if you can show that it makes sense, is consistent with the neighborhood, be careful about how new touches the old. I can't have you, digging into the existing roof line of the historic home, whether you're doing a 2-car garage or a 1-car garage. But if you've got room for a 2-car, go for it. Just figure out how to mate it to your house without actually penetrating your house. And penetrating
All right.
literally means don't be pushing into the stucco, don't be pulling out, shingles or anything. Just have it just sort of like
Separate.
ease into it. Yeah.
All right.
and just your driveway and the current opening in your gate is a 0 setback. driveway and
Yeah.
gate. So I don't know if that'll carry water with
It will
respect to
not
your setback.
it's
So
but that's not, show that you've got a building.
yeah.
I mean, it certainly looks like the buildings to the south of you have very small setbacks. Assuming those
Sorry.
fences are all like on the lot
Hang
line.
on. And you look at this building in particular, and then
And you can go across the street too. It doesn't have to be on your side of the street. There may be another
and
one.
then there's here.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
Here.
real close.
I think they're
Yeah.
big. What's the street too?
Well, if you look at
There's
that white
there's
building,
zero right here. There's zero lot line.
yeah. So that just, yeah. And the one
This one.
that Jim's showing right now, or somebody's drawing a circle around right now that has the flat roof. Man, that looks like, I don't know where the lot line is on that, but it looks like the east side is 0.
I think they got in trouble when they added that east side addition. So
Oh,
I think they, but
Hmm.
it's there. And then of course this one is 0 lot line. So
yeah. And we just don't know if that's
and your
what kind of
development
structure
zone
that
and
is.
Okay.
But your architect should know the drill on showing all this stuff.
Right.
So
Yeah. Right. Have your
look up
architect
to the
come
north.
and show us
Here's 0
and make
lot
sure the
line.
properties that he's using as examples are,
0 lot lines.
well, and that they're the appropriate examples. Because sometimes people show us stuff that's 0 lot line that we look at and say, oh, well, that's a code violation. They should never have done that in the first place, which is what Jim was actually just saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well,
But I agree. I've walked that area with you, and I think you've got
Yeah.
a pretty good space there.
Yeah, you're 80% of the way there.
I
So
think you're 80%.
Yeah.
And then just think about how those roof lines are going to play with each other without touching each other.
yes. I wanted to ask you, do you think we need to cut another into the curb? Or that one
I
space?
don't have an opinion on that.
Okay.
You need to ask, but I am pointing out that if you want a curb cut, you need to ask for a curb cut.
Okay.
Jim, you're smarter on this than me.
well, it's more from our perspective, our guidelines kind of discourage curb cuts in front of the home, but extending an existing one gives you some. And then you look at what Jan has next to you. She's
Yeah.
got 2 curb cuts. So again, you got to put your architect to task to make the case that it would be appropriate to have your curb cut widened. So,
Right.
Okay.
But you don't want to come back.
but from a if we were not in a historic zone, yes, you could widen your curb.
Okay.
And you really don't want to make it something you bring up later because you still have to come back and ask. So it should all be part of the plan.
All right.
So yeah, so what Rick's saying is included if you want to do it, and we may knock it back, but at least we'll know what you're thinking of. So
Okay.
as
Thank you.
opposed to just mentioning it verbally.
All right.
Yeah, Ricky.
Yeah, just a general question. For the AC equipment, for historic what are the possibilities there? Is it okay, to have that equipment removed and, if they upgrade, what is it that we,
You're talking about the stuff that's on the roof?
yes,
Well, that's stuff that's on the roof wasn't put there when the building was built, right?
No.
Right. So are you talking about moving it to the ground?
well, I'm just saying, if they upgrade to a newer, equipment and it may be designed differently. And yes, more than likely, most AC condensers, they're on the ground and, with their split system
Yeah.
inside. So, it's
So
just a question I wanted to bring up.
yeah, I would say from this courtesy review, taking that stuff off the roof is wonderful. Do it. I don't know what your attic structure looks like. Homes like some of ours in the neighborhood use mini splits and they're on the ground. Um, if you have room for ductwork, then fine, but yeah, having it on the roof is, ugly.
Okay.
And it's not original. So taking it off the roof is awesome.
Okay.
But I will also say, please, if you're going to do something like that, which involves touching the roof penetrations, everything else, please all wrap it into your request because all those things individually have to be asked for, right? So you're better off just thinking that all the way through and doing it in one review.
Okay.
Now, but yeah, we're not going to object to you taking that stuff off the roof. That is
I
not
know,
going to,
we'd applaud it.
yeah, we'd applaud it.
Okay, so if I may proceed, I think I want to go back to page number 3.
Hold on, I got to do a call to order here a little bit. It is
Okay.
7:58. Do I have any board members that I am going to lose in 2 minutes? All right, just making sure we have quorum. Michael, are you okay if we continue beyond 8 o'clock?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Ricky.
We just need to go faster.
Okay, I'm sorry. Page number 3. So we talked about the detached garage will be set back further from East First Street. That's where we left off. The required 6 feet rear setback will be met. And that's on page number 3, guys. We will be asking to reduce the west setback, the one that we were talking about just right now, about putting it right at the line, okay? So we will be asking to reduce the west setback to a minimum of 3 feet. I know the drawing
So,
says 3.5.
so Ricky, I'm going to ask you again. I'm not sure we were clear enough. We can change setbacks as long as you show me that the prevailing setbacks in your development zone are consistent with that.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that you're asking is cool, but I'm asking that when you come back and see us, show a building that's within, you know, that has that as a precedent. Okay?
Okay.
Just showing me
Rick-
that you want to ask for this doesn't help me. You need to show that there are other
Yeah, so
setbacks.
it's currently at 3 feet 5 inches right here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, keynote number 1. So that's what I was basically saying, but that may change.
No,
Ricky,
that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you may ask for that and we can grant that as long as you show that that is a setback that's consistent with other buildings in the immediate radius of
Okay.
this
Got it.
residence.
Okay.
Ricky, so what Rick is saying, and you need to get after your architect,
Yes.
this is what he's showing as your development zone. I think you need to expand that.
You
so
can
that
expand that, yeah.
You
I
can
agree.
expand that. He needs to expand this to show examples of the setbacks that you'd like to pursue. Does that make sense?
Okay.
It's too bad he's not here tonight.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, is there anything else urgent that we need to discuss here? Because we are beyond our time and we just have a couple quick items left on the agenda.
No, you know what? I think that's the end of the
Okay.
presentation. I mean, we
Okay.
covered most of
We
it.
like where you're going.
Yep.
Really do. Just got a few things, a few little kinks to work out, okay? On the chimney, the setbacks.
Actually, it was one thing on the stucco. There was some images that were provided in that presentation. So if we can just have a look at that and make sure we're okay with that stucco.
You're just talking about the stucco on the new structure?
Yes, that is correct.
I don't know where those images would be. There's no stucco images.
No.
So,
He just has it in writing.
I mean, there's
Maybe there.
this.
I'm not sure that I care
And a
that
call out.
much if
No.
you're doing
Okay,
You
well,
know,
we
it
can
could-
cover
I
that
mean,
in the next.
your building is brick. If you have stucco, it helps set it apart so people understand it's not part of the original.
yeah,
I don't think
right,
the finish type of finish on your stucco is going to matter.
right.
But
I agree with Jim.
I'll defer to others with more expertise than I.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, item 5 on the agenda. Let's just kind of put a bow on this. Staff updates. Michael, are there any staff updates?
Yeah, I do have a couple of them. What did I do? Just give me a minute. Let me take. So for staff update, I would like to inform the board that one of our lead planners, Jason, who came before you for several meetings, is no longer with the city.
What? That didn't last very long.
Yes, he's no longer with the city.
Oh,
A new historic preservation lead planner position is being advertised, and the announcement is going to be out this week.
okay.
So our office is back to me and Ray.
Okay. Sorry to hear that.
And also, just to remind the board that effective July of 2026, all WhatsApp review meetings will be the first Tuesday. That is why, Rick, you need to sign that thing and send to the city clerk.
Yeah, and Michael, I can do that in tomorrow or
Yeah, this the request that you just email it back to them, which is
yeah.
just that first section is we're doing
No,
video.
the form's easy to fill out. I just have to go get it scanned. So don't worry. I'll do it tomorrow.
Okay.
It's not a big deal.
Yeah, and at this point in time, the proposed red lines for the UDC that staff came and talked to you about. Desiree sent the website the link to which you can actually see those. So
she sent that to the whole board, the code
yeah, it
changes?
was sent
Yeah.
to all the
Okay.
board, so I'm sure you
Okay.
received. So,
I did get her email.
yeah, so please just take a look at that.
Yeah.
And then at this point in time, the revisions for your design guidelines have actually is what we are waiting for. So basically,
Yeah.
staff is waiting for Mr. Chair.
Yeah. And that's kind of in my court. I'm almost done. So maybe I don't, yeah.
So
Trying
as
to
soon
think about
as,
whether I have it by the next meeting.
yes, as
I
soon
might
as
have it by
you
the next meeting. Yeah.
okay, as soon
I
as
can help you, Rick, if it's possible.
Okay. Thanks, Jim.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can divvy it up a little
Yeah,
bit.
it
It'd be
may
nice to
not
get
be
it just
something.
knocked out. Yeah.
It may not be something you can share. So, but
Yeah.
whatever.
And it's
and
not
then
that
we are-
hard. I just need to do it
Oh,
the less little bit.
And then we are also, Jim, we are still going to count on getting the funding from WUNA for you to do whatever thing you need to do. So we have not, that is still on the table. We are recognizing that and being thankful. And then the other thing, as far as minor reviews are concerned, I forgot to put it as an item on this agenda, but I do recall only one minor review that we have done at 924 North 6th Avenue. Rick,
right.
Chair, you were the one who did that minor review for that fence.
Oh, the fence. So that's we agreed with that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is the one that has done since I came back from my vacation. The other minor reviews were done when I was not here. So that is basically my staff update at this point in time.
Okay. Okay. And then future agenda items?
For future agenda items, we have a project that should be coming to you in July at 243 East University Boulevard. The owner of that property is proposing to have some, I believe there are two pergolas and a Ramada on the property. So if they can submit, then I will have them for you next month. So that means that there will be a review meeting in July.
So Michael, are those in the rear of the property or
No, they're in the rear.
they're in the rear? Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Okay.
And as soon as Mr. Chair, you send that into the city clerk and it is published, our next regularly scheduled date for the next meeting will be July 7th.
July 7th.
Yeah, if it is
So-
not, then we'll still maintain the second Tuesday. But as soon as we send it in, then our next regular scheduled meeting would be the first Tuesday will be July 7th.
The first Tuesday is July 7th. So, real quick, for everybody, I am going to be out of country on July 7th, and I normally have been Okay, Jim, you're raising your hand. I was trying to give you an out.
I'm happy to do it.
Okay, so Michael, I will be out of country.
Okay.
So, you got Jim volunteering to chair that particular meeting.
Okay,
All right.
that's good. It's good to know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
No, not from staff.
So I have to ask, and you may not know the answer to this, but is on future agenda items, what's the address? 110 East University, the apartment complex that had the Ramada in the front and the fire pit in the front and changed all the rear. Is that ever coming to us, or what's going on with that thing?
Yeah, I think Jason was working on it. I have not yet gotten to it, but whatever, we are normally going to bring it to you. It's a
Okay.
zoning violation. It will come to one point.
Okay. Okay. All right. With that, it is 8:09 p.m. and we stand adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for staying a little late.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Rick. We'll see you.
All right. Stay cool, everybody in Tucson.